You waited 6 years for that to come along, didn't you?
Yeah, I signed up to it when I was 18 and we shot it when I was 23.
Why did it take so long?
Why?
Because it's just such a hard story to tell. There's so much that happened in her life. You know, she was sent off to France when she was 5 by her mother to protect her, basically, from Henry down south. And she didn't come back till she was about 19. And at that stage, her mother had died, her first husband had died, the King of France had died. So she suddenly had all of this responsibility that she never expected. So it was just about kind of like figuring out, like, are we making a film about religion or love or politics or, you know, what is it? So that's why I took it.
She was a very strong, powerful woman. What did you learn about her whilst you were making it?
I think the thing that I learned, which is like contrary to what almost every history book would tell you, is that she was actually a great ruler for the time that she was in Scotland. The 6 years or so that she ruled, she was actually this really sort of savvy politician. And she was, you know, Elizabeth, I think, sort of closed herself off to any emotion at all. So she ended up becoming the great ruler that she was. But Mary sort of wanted to have it all in the same way that a male ruler would. And I loved that about her. I mean, the reason why they didn't meet was because of all of their advisors and, like, the men that were supposed to support them and support their decisions and kind of protect their rule, whilst also honouring that whole notion of, like, this God-given right that the monarchy had. So they were kept apart for that reason, but they really wanted to meet.
Explain to me then the reason behind the invention of that scene.
That scene.
That Mary and Elizabeth never met. In the movie, there is a very poignant meeting.
If an audience has stuck with a film for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and they've followed these two stories and followed these two women and their lives, you need that payoff. You need to see these, like in Heat or something like that, where you're just egging them on and really rooting for them to come together. And I just think, sort of like, from a dramatic point of view, it made sense to have the two of them in the room. And also you're watching, like, you know, Elizabeth in that scene is a complete shell of her former self. She's in the golden age makeup, so she's completely, like, non-human. And Mary is bloody and dirty and she's just come from battle in our film. And you're watching these two women be pushed to their very sort of limit, you know?
And so the two of you, actually, that was the first... I mean, that's the only scene that you have together, and they purposefully kept you two apart.
Yeah.
And so how did that help that scene?
Well, we actually asked for it. So we said going into it that we just think it would be a really cool experiment to stay apart. And we knew each other a little bit anyway. So Margot would do all of her stuff separate from me. And we just didn't know what the other one looked like. So it meant that when you finally are revealed to one another, it's just that shock of seeing, like, the visual, just what that other person looked like. It meant that, like, I suppose how we felt as actors finally getting to see each other after, like, 3 weeks of rehearsing and being kept apart, and also what Mary and Elizabeth would have felt with having finally gotten the chance to meet.
Moment.
It would have been quite similar. So it just gave us so much adrenaline and emotion. It was great.
And also, being the time that it was, attention to detail with costumes and with makeup, very much, sort of more so with Elizabeth, and because she'd had smallpox, so she was in sort of the white makeup. But with you, it's the corsets.
The bloody corset.
I mean, that sounds horrific.
It changes your shape.
Does it?
So physically after... I mean, not just when you're wearing it, you mean after, when you take it off?
Yeah, so after we wrapped, for about a month afterwards, myself and all the girls had this, like, weird... I mean, it was great, but, like, we had this weird hourglass shape because we had just had these corsets put onto us every day, and, like, the warmer the corset gets throughout the day from being put on your body, they tighten it more. So you think, like, oh, grand, I'll be able to just chill out now, and then they come along and they, like, tighten it even more. So, yeah, so we had, like, different body shapes.
That's mad, isn't it? I mean, the women suffered so badly.
Totally. It's no wonder they couldn't do anything, and they didn't exercise as much, and, you know, they just couldn't move.
Yeah.
I mean,
You do very well. I mean, it's incredible.
Seamless Californian accent in Lady Bird, and this, you know, is well, you're Scottish.
Yeah, I liked doing the Scottish one because it's so similar to Irish anyway. Like I was able to, because when you change your accent, you're speaking in a different way. So if I was doing like a Southern English accent or a Californian accent, the way I would speak would just completely change.
And you just have to practice and practice and practice that.
Yeah.
Until
it's like
it becomes...
music. It's literally just like music and finding the melody of something and like, because we had to speak French in this as well, in Mary, and like the muscles that they use when they're speaking in French is completely different to the ones that we would use. So you're just like training your mouth to... You're basically sending your mouth to the gym every day.
Very good.
You strike me as being a very un-showbiz sort of a person. I mean, you've got these... They've got,
they're very showbiz.
They're very
seriously showbiz.
Glitzy Hollywood, and then you go to the Golden Globes, and what do you do after you've presented your award at the Golden Globes?
I presented the award. I did what I had to do, and then I left. And then I went and I had a slice of pizza with my friends. Because you guys know, you go to those things and they're fun and everything, but you don't want to be in these forever.
This is true. This is true. But so you went home, you took that beautiful dress off and got into your pyjamas.
I did, yeah. I had been wearing for about 5 days straight. and because I was so quick getting out of there, I ended up just watching the rest of the ceremony at home. So I was like gone in half an hour.
But you were overawed by the showbiz of meeting Meryl Streep for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I met Meryl a few years ago and couldn't believe it. But in Little Women, which I
you've just finished,
yes, just before Christmas, I have one scene with Meryl, and I remember the whole way through the day, I was really cool about it. Hey, Meryl, how's it going? Did the whole scene and it was great. And then got to the end of it and all of a sudden I just got really emotional because it like suddenly hit me that I got to work with Meryl, and I just kept going up to her going, thank you so much for letting me work with you.
Well, that's going to be an amazing... That's sort of Christmas time.
It's going to be Christmas,
comes out, and that sounds incredible as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, award season is upon us. I mean, you've had, 3 nominations for Oscars in the past. Does it feel like there's pressure on you this year? I mean, you're so incredibly young to have such success, but...
Yeah, I think, having been lucky enough to have gone through it in the last few years, I do feel less pressure now. Because I think, like, what I've gotten so far is lovely, and I'm quite happy with that. So, like, anything else on top of that is just a lovely bonus.
Well, nominations are next Tuesday, I think, so where...
Are they?
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me now. I didn't know that they were...
Well, now you know. Where are you going to be?
Where will I be next Tuesday? I'll probably just be at home walking the dog.
Eating pizza
I'm not
in your pyjamas,
expecting...
probably.
Yeah. I'll probably just be eating pizza, like at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's so lovely that you came to see us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I'll just say that when I'm away, I'll get on the phone to my mum and I'm like, I just miss watching Phil and Holly on the television because I watch you guys every day. So, like, when I'm away, genuinely, this is what I miss watching more than anything else. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to
watch
hear.
it on the hub.
Good.
I love that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's really lovely to
Mary
see
Queen
you.
of Scots is out
Tomorrow, yeah,
Two
brilliant.
amazing women, incredible acting, but the story of these two very powerful women. Thank you.
Thank you.